Hey good people, and welcome back to the channel. This time of year is considered my downtime for reviewing new shows, so I thought it'd be the perfect opportunity to bring back my unpopular opinion video series. Now if you're new to my channel, then let me explain the series. Every now and then, I post videos that share an unpopular opinion that I have about a particular movie, TV show, or character. And my goal in doing this is to create a discussion that allows people to examine a particular character, show, or movie in a different perspective. And because my opinion may be considered unpopular to many people out there, I expect and welcome comments from anybody who disagrees with it. So for the purposes of this video, you're going to hear my unpopular opinion from the movie Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Now I know some of you saw the thumbnail and you're ready to pounce on me like a Cheeto on a rabbit, but I promise that the longer I talk, the more sense it'll all make. So sit back, buckle up, and get your disagreement ready. Diary of a Mad Black Woman came out in 2005 and was the first movie that was adapted from a Tyler Perry play. The movie follows the story of Helen McCarter. She's a stay-at-home wife who was always faithful and supportive of her husband Charles McCarter. Little did she know that her husband was having multiple affairs behind her back and had plans of leaving her as well as kicking her out of the home. Now of course, Charles was very nasty towards Helen, and she never deserved any of that treatment. But as fate would have it, Charles got shot by one of his clients that he was representing, and the woman that Charles left Helen for cleaned out his bank accounts and left town. Now during this time, Helen had already met a man named Orlando, and while their beginnings were pretty rocky, they started to date and Helen began to open her heart to him. But when Helen received the news that Charles got shot, she decided to leave Orlando to go back to her husband and nurse him back to health, or so Orlando thought. This completely crushed Orlando, who was already having trust issues due to the trauma he experienced in his last relationship. But Helen takes care of Charles, and after she helps him become the best version of himself, she leaves him to go back to Orlando. Now while this ending was very powerful and emotional, it is my opinion that it was the wrong ending, and I strongly feel that Helen should have stayed with Charles, and here's why. After Helen learned about what happened to Charles, she could have left him completely alone and enjoyed her life with Orlando. But she knew that she was still in love with her husband and that Orlando was just a guy to help her get over the pain that her husband caused. So Helen agreed to take care of Charles, but instead of continuing to use Orlando to ease her pain, she took her pain out on Charles. And this was done by starving him, berating him, and beating him as a form of payback for years of hell that he put her through. Now I can't blame Helen for wanting to get even with Charles, and she even had the opportunity to kill him and make it look like an accident. But she didn't. And why, you might ask? Because deep down inside, she was a good person, and she believed that through faith in God, she could help Charles become the husband that she needed him to be. So Helen made it her mission to nurse Charles back to health. She was right by his side during the rehab, she took him to church, and she even helped the brother get saved. By the end of the movie, Charles was a brand new man and he was ready to love Helen in the manner that she deserved to be loved. Helen breathed new life into Charles, and she took it all away by asking to divorce him. Helen then goes back to a defeated Orlando and lets him know that she wants to be with him. Now the movie leads us to believe that Charles had moved on with his life and Helen and Orlando lived happily ever after. But let's be realistic about this for a second. In real life, if Helen had helped rebuild Charles physically and emotionally just to leave him, he would either sink into depression or he would become jaded and revert back to his usual mean self when dealing with women down the road, which would have made Helen's efforts all for nothing. Furthermore, Helen only knew Orlando for a hot minute. They went out on a few dates, but Helen really didn't know Orlando that well, and who's to say that Orlando didn't have some demons of his own that he was hiding from Helen? In addition to that, after Helen initially left Orlando high and dry, who's to say that he didn't try to tag everything but third base out there just to ease his own pain and get another woman pregnant in the process? There's a saying out there that says, sometimes it's better to deal with the devil you know than the devil you don't know. Charles was a devil who was saved and changed for the better, while Orlando was a guy who Helen didn't truly know could be as good as he claimed to be. So for that, it is my opinion that Helen should have stayed with Charles. Once again, yes, Charles was a horrible SOB in the beginning of the movie, but he changed, and because the movie was based on biblical principles, from a biblical standpoint, Helen should have given the marriage with Charles another chance. But from a common sense perspective, ladies, you gotta ask yourself, can you truly trust a guy with a hairstyle like this? But that's just my opinion. Now I'm ready for all the smoke that might come my way on this topic. So whether you agree or disagree with the opinion, feel free to leave your comment in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to reply to everybody. Until next time, stay tuned and stay safe. Peace.